goodness, I almost dropped it. I've got this little special thing.
Today we're shooting a cinematic scene in only 5 hours with a $100 budget and the help of my friend, William Baker.
This is how I made this shot. This shot from Nightcrawler. This Stranger Things shot.
I am a content creator making primarily TikTok and Instagram videos, and I do film education on a budget.
William, what do you think of this challenge?
I'm super excited for this. It's really cool to kind of like make something on a budget and with a time constraint. So you don't need that much time or money to make something really cool. And that's what I hope to be showing people today.
William, you recently exploded on social media too, from posting your cinematic breakdowns on Instagram and TikTok. You have any tips for anyone out there that's trying to grow themselves?
Honestly, consistency is key. Do something that you love and just do it a lot.
I like that. That consistency, that is true. When we're talking about your gear, what's the normal camera and lighting equipment that you're working with?
I'm normally working with a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, and I'm usually working with just 1, 2, or maybe even 3 amaran lights.
So how do you come up with your ideas and the scenes that you want to create?
I might look at shot deck and some portrait photography. Sometimes I just find a location and I ask myself, like, what do I want to try today?
Now let's get back to the challenge though. William, what are you picturing for this shot?
I'm picturing something kind of big. I want to go for something like the 2001 A Space Odyssey colorful tunnel type of thing.
Okay, I like that. And then what are you thinking for location and talent?
Just friends of mine and here at my place.
Heck yeah, all right, well let's get into it. William, I'm giving you 3 amaran lights. You have 5 hours to shoot something cinematic. Do you think you can handle it?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Let's get into it. William, take it away.
We have this motorcycle helmet. We gotta make it look more like a space helmet because our actress is going to be in space. That's gonna involve just stuff we can find at the craft store. We might add a little bit of like stuff here just to make it look cooler, and like a tubing or something for oxygen. We are now an hour in. We had planning for an hour basically. So we've got our camera, we've got our model, we're making a helmet look sci-fi-ish, and we've got 3 hours left. So we're moving. Wow, that looks really good. Oh yeah. The background. We need to make it look like this is kind of a spaceship. So we have, voila, car ramps. And so we're sticking this black backdrop underneath so that we kind of have like just a neutral background. Yeah, boom. This sound. Oh, one more, there it is. They're gonna think we're geniuses. They're gonna watch this video and they're gonna be like, these guys, intelligent. Our current problem is we need walls, or cockpit. We've got this, which looks really good, but we need walls. So if we can, yeah. What am I? Is somebody who's a professional and gets paid for this, they came up with let's use a rake. This is pretty cool. So we've got 1 hour left. It's crunch time, and we've pretty much just got lighting left, but our set looks great. It's just getting all these lights set up in time. So 1 hour, we're gonna get it. We're using the Amaran 200D, which is a point source light. So the light from it is gonna be hard, and we don't want that. We want softer light, something ambient. So we're going for this on the soft box, and then we'll rig this up kind of behind her a little bit, give a bit of an ambient backlighting type situation. Let's turn lights off. There we go. So you can kind of see there's reflections here, especially on the right side. We have to deal with that. It's a part of dealing with reflective materials. We have a little special thing for something like that. Okay, let's go grab the little special thing. Oh my goodness, I almost dropped it. I've got this little special thing. This is a circular polarizer. It should reduce the reflections on this helmet. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at on the right side. Now that we've got that, it's time for our main lights of the scene. And that's going to be the tubes. The reason we're using these is because they can do some fancy stuff like that. And we need to make some movement, colorful movement, and so this mode is gonna work well, this rainbow mode here. We'll have them set up kind of to the side like this, and they'll cast that light onto our talent. It's looking pretty good. Could you bring your tube down? Or your tube, actually. Perfect. Let me change the settings here for the final shot. I am rolling. That's a wrap. We're done. Okay, time for post-production. I'm using After Effects for the VFX and DaVinci Resolve for color grading. For VFX, I mirrored the background cooking grate to enhance the production design. Then I added a space reflection in her visor and sparks above camera to add to that sci-fi-ness of the shot. Lastly, I added some shaky cam and a slow push to add drama. Now in DaVinci, I have a batch of nodes to polish up the shot. The first batch is cleaning our footage, that's noise removal, tweaking portions of the frame, stuff like that. The second batch is where you can have some fun stylizing your footage. I used curves, dehazing and adjusting midtones, shadows, and highlights. That last batch adds our filmic quality, like adding halation and film grain. And there you have our final shot, the before and the after. To bring everything together, I added a few sci-fi sound effects. And now, here's the final shot.
Whoa. That's absolutely amazing what you did with such a small amount of time and a small budget, William. Tell me about what you learned throughout this whole process.
One of the big things was set design. That was really challenging. We just had to kind of throw a few things together quick and make something of it, but it worked out pretty well, I would say.
If you could go back and change anything about this edit or the process, what would you change?
One of the things, I didn't give my actor or actress any directions. Running in a low amount of time, I should have spent a little more time giving her an idea of what she was really doing. I would have preferred her to sort of react to maybe going into warp speed or something like that.
Yeah, I got you. That's a good point. But I mean, you know, we're always our harshest critic at the end of the day. I still think this shot was beautiful.
Well, thank you.
And what did you feel like was the biggest limitation for this challenge?
Definitely the lack of having a studio or a production space, just using a garage. One of the things that was very helpful was in that garage, there's a ton of just random stuff to use. So when it came down to set design, I didn't have a plan going in, so we just pulled some random stuff from shelves and from areas of the garage, and we just threw it onto a background, and it turned out really well.
I know, I saw in the background you used an oven grate, which I think is quite the hack for a budget sci-fi scene.
Yeah, that was something that one of my friends said, hey, I saw this on a video one time, so we just went for it, and it worked out pretty well.
And William, what kind of advice would you give to any other beginner filmmakers out there that are trying to shoot a cinematic scene in such a short period of time?
I'd say planning is a huge piece of it, giving actors direction. One of the realities is all of that work leads up to one final moment.
I totally agree with that. I feel like in filmmaking, right, the ratio of time you spend on your project, I feel like pre-production and post-production have the most amount of time, and then production is such a short period of time.
Yeah, the more time you spend planning a project, the better it turns out.
William, thank you so much for joining us today and doing this challenge. You got any closing thoughts?
Yeah, thanks for sending over those pixel tubes, and just keep on creating.
Of course, man. And yes, keep creating. Let me know what you thought of William's shot and the whole process down in the comments. Make sure you subscribe for more content like this, and if you want to see another filmmaking challenge, suggest one down in the comments. And we'll see you soon.